Hi, welcome to the first PHP tutorial. My name's Shane. This is just going to be an introduction on how to get your development environment set up, how to create our first document, and a few of the most fundamental PHP features that we're going to be working with heavily in future tutorials. So let's get started. Now, I like to work with what's called EasyPHP Dev Server. Now, what EasyPHP does is it's a portable web server. You can install it to a flash drive, any of your hard drives, a memory card, onto SkyDrive, Dropbox, for example, any cloud service that you use. It doesn't matter where it goes. It's portable. Now, what it will do is it'll install and run your web server for you, which we're working with Apache, probably one of the most popular web servers available right now, and it's open source as well, which is very nice. And it will also install MySQL for you, so the MySQL server. Now that's our database server. We're going to be using that in later tutorials, so keep your eye out for that. And it'll also install PHP for you. That's important. Without that, well, there'd be no tutorial for you guys. So it will do that as well, and it automatically configures it all, and it will work directly out of whatever directory you install your dev server to. Now, like I said, I use EasyPHP Dev Server. Sadly, only runs on Windows. So if you're not a Windows user, I'm going to include the link to this in the description, by the way. There's XAMPP as well. Now, I've also used this. Don't quite prefer it, but it's also very, very, very popular, and it will do the same thing for what we need in these tutorials. You can find XAMPP at apachefriends.org. I'm going to link that in the description also. And this will run on Windows, Linux, and Macs as well. So that's exciting. Now, what I'll need you to do is download whichever is relevant to your operating system. If you'd like to follow me more closely and you're on Windows, I suggest you grab EasyPHP, but again, XAMPP will do the job just fine. So I've already installed mine, so I am going to navigate to the installation directory now. And it's under, I've installed it to my F drive. So here I've got EasyPHP Dev Server. It's a slightly older version to what's available now, but the structure is the same, so that's fine. Now, if you open up your data folder and navigate to local web, this is the root directory for where all our website files are going to go. Okay, now we'll just make sure that our EasyPHP is running. So if you look down in your system tray, it may be hidden by default. If you click your little arrow there, double click EasyPHP, and we'll get our little console window here. And we can see that Apache has started and is running, no errors, and same with MySQL. So that's good. Now, just to test that they're actually functioning, I'm going to, in my address bar, type localhost, and that's going to take me to the root of my website, which is this local web folder. Okay, so what Apache is going to do is, now you'll notice here how it's giving us a file listing. There's nothing there, but it wants to list files that are in the directory. It's empty. What Apache will do is when we access a folder, which is just the root folder, the slash folder, it will look for an index.php file, an index.html file, index.htm, in some cases default.asp, depending on your configuration. Now, XAMPP and EasyPHP have done this for you. If you're doing a manual configuration, you're going to need to add index.php to the list of index pages yourself in the configuration manually. Like I said, it's done for you. So we're going to create an index.php file, and Apache, when we reload this page, is going to automatically look for an index file, which we're creating, and it's going to load that instead of this this directory browser, if you like. So go ahead and create a new document called index.php, and okay that. Now this is an empty file, which is fine. So I'm just going to close an old one that I've got open there. Just going to open that in Sublime Text, which is my editor of choice. You can use Notepad, Notepad++, Dreamweaver code editor. There are a number of others. I like Sublime Text. Supports a number of language syntaxes. It's got a lot of theme options. So I've configured mine how I like it, and it's very versatile. You can even use it to compile C++ if you'd like. You can attach it to a compiler, and it all works beautifully. So it's a fantastic editor. $70 US for a license, but I think it's well worth it. Now I'm going to refresh this page here. Now you'll notice how we've got an empty page, which is perfectly normal. We've put nothing in the index.php page yet. We're not going to have, you know, the next new social network just pop up. So to initialize a PHP document, we need to type less than symbol, question mark, PHP. Now, what that's going to say to Apache is when it loads this file, it's going to go, oh, okay, well, everything inside these two PHP tags, I'm going to close it here with question mark greater than, everything inside there needs to be processed by PHP, right? Now, if I were to put any text outside it, this will not be recognized as code. So that there is just going to be sent directly to the browser in plain text, which is fine. Some programmers will actually do that, and if they have just the beginning of an HTML file, a bunch of HTML and text that they might want to output that isn't ever changing, is static content, they might just do that, and then they'll start up PHP down here, which is fine. I don't do it myself, and you'll see here that is the output. It's not what I like to do. So in these tutorials, we're not going to be doing that, and we're going to use PHP to output all of our content instead, just to keep things nice and simple. As an example, if I were to type that text in here, you'll see our Sublime Text has actually started color coding my code, which is nice. And if I save that and run it, we'll actually get an error, because now PHP has tried to interpret this as code, and obviously this doesn't mean anything. So, as a first rule for any programming language that you're learning, the first thing you need to do with it is output hello world. So we're going to do that using the echo statement. Now, you can use brackets with the echo statement if you'd like. If you've used other programming languages, that may be familiar to you. Just to do that, that will work fine. A lot of PHP developers will actually use it without brackets, which is most common. So it's totally up to you. So we're going to save that and refresh. Bam, there it is. Hello world, nice and simple. Now, you have two choices with strings in PHP. Now, if you're new to programming, a string is essentially a collection of text, just like this, hello world. So your other option is to use double quotes, just like this. And they both work. The difference is, in PHP, and as you can see there, same output for each. In PHP, if you have a string using double quotes, it will actually search it for variables. Now, I'm going to be running over variables in the next tutorial. It'll make a little bit more sense if you're new to programming, as I said. But I personally prefer to use the single quotes, as it doesn't search for variables, and it's a little bit stricter given that, but I find it tidier. And again, I'll explain this in the next tutorial, but I prefer to do it that way. You'll probably find maybe about a 50-50 split between PHP developers as to which route they choose to go down, whether they go single or double quotes. In my tutorials, I'm going to use single quotes. Now that's a personal thing. You can do whichever you like. Don't feel like you're doing it wrong, because there's no real right or wrong. Performance tests have shown that each are about as fast as each other, so it doesn't really matter. Now, On the topic of outputting content to the page using the echo statement, PHP actually has one more which we will probably never use beyond this tutorial, but it's worth mentioning. PHP also has a print function. Now, print will work just like echo, although it can only output a single string, and it will return a true or a false to the parser if it succeeds or fails, essentially. As a result, the echo statement will perform better. It's also more versatile. You can use it for outputting a collection of information, whereas print will just do a string. So echo is much more versatile and proven to be faster as well. So that's what we're going to be working with. We'll probably never see use for print, but worth knowing about nonetheless. So that really concludes the tutorial. It's gone a little long, but I hope that will get you kick-started. In the next tutorial, I'm going to be going over variables, arrays, and constants. I will see you then. Thank you.